What stands out from this one?
My body. No, I think our fight overall. We know there's a lot at stake. We know there's a lot that we're still playing for, and postseason goals that we have. So for us to come out in the second half the way we did, we just knew that we had to have an energy shift and pick it up on the defensive end. Because ultimately it just came down to us getting stops. We knew we would get some things going on offense, but we just had to sit down and get stops, and that's really what it came down to in those last couple of minutes as well.
How difficult was that adjusting defensively when down low Washington was really having a lot of success in the paint? What did you guys kind of discuss in that fourth quarter? And how do you guys feel like overall the adjustment was able to kind of help you guys get this win?
Yeah, I mean, we know overall we can defend. We've done it all year, and I think, we just had a few kind of lapses and just mental errors. So I think once we just locked in and we're like, we threw a bunch of different stuff. We tried to trap a little bit, tried to turn them over, just try to get them razzled a little bit and take a little bit tougher shots. And, if they made some tough ones, but we'll live with that. So I think that was just our biggest talk in the huddles and in our own huddles. Like, we were just like, we got to lock down. Whatever we see, let's take it. Like, we can gamble a little bit. We're just trying to be overly aggressive.
Deja, you scored the last 9 points of the game. Took the charge on Sellers that made it go the other way. What just on that play in particular, and then on the offensive end, what were you seeing kind of down the stretch to create those looks and get to the foul line?
Yeah, well, I knew I had to get my get back after I missed my free throw. So I was like, okay, let me make it up on the defensive end. So that's where that charge came in. And honestly, we had to adjust anyway and rotate over because Sellers was getting a lot downhill, and we weren't really rotating like we should. So when I did it, it mattered. So we'll take it and we'll work on it in practice, I'm sure. But I was just trying to be aggressive. I was able to get downhill, and my shot was falling, and the last couple of minutes, I knew that was just kind of take over time. But ultimately, it just came down to us getting stops and locking in on the defensive end.
Elisa, your identity as a team seems to be so tied to your defense at this point. So when coach says in the second half, hey, we're going to ramp things up, we're going to get aggressive, I wonder if you guys are like, all right, this is who we are. Let's get after it a little bit.
We talked in halftime about our energy level, and I think when they let us go a little bit more and they tell us to just be aggressive, that kind of feeds into our positive energy. And then, getting steals, trapping, I think we got a 5-second call. And that was like literally the first time we ever got a 5-second call, like out of bounds under our basket. So just those things, they all just give us so much energy, yeah.
Elisa, in a game where it felt like every point, especially down the stretch, mattered, that three at the end, right at the end of the third quarter, felt like it kind of set you guys for success offensively. Just how big was that shot at the end of the third quarter, and where did you feel like the momentum was heading into the final moments?
Yeah, I think I heard everyone scream at me to shoot the ball. So I was just, letting Deja pass it, just like, shoot it! So I was just letting it fly. I think it was really important because the momentum was shifting, and it gave us kind of a little bit of hope, in the late stretch that we can actually win this game and that we need to stick together.
Question for both of you guys really quick. You guys have won a lot of close games, obviously, throughout this season. How much do you guys enjoy these moments to kind of show who you guys are as a team, and at the same time, how much do you maybe wish that maybe you were up by maybe 5 or 10 points in the final 2 minutes of the game?
Yeah, games like these give me a heart attack, man. I'm too old for this. But I think it just shows how resilient we are, especially in the last couple minutes of games, and us being able to pull it out and, again, really lock in on getting stops, really getting the shots that we want in those final minutes. I think we're really detailed and intentional, and I think that's something that has carried us to these close wins that we've had. And I think it also goes a little bit to experience. We've had people that have been in these situations before. I've been in these situations before, so that's the talk that we're having in the huddles. That it relies on player-led leadership, and I think that takes us a long way. But ultimately, in these close wins, it's our defense that has carried us for sure.
You talked about fight earlier. Peyton was limping off the court a week ago, and she's back out there tonight. What does that do for you guys as a team, and what's she like as a team? Yeah,
seeing her fight back for the team and try to get back and giving us the minutes that she can, I think it's huge. It shows how committed she is to wanting to play for us and wanting to be there for us too. And we need her. So we're going to need her down the stretch even more. So, of course, we want her to get healthy, but she's huge. She's a huge leader for us, on-court leader. She gives us a lot offensively and defensively. Like, she just brings so much to the team. When a player goes down like that, it hurts the whole team. But to see her back out there and, again, give us what she could and what she did, it's huge for us moving forward.
You went to the line there down 1 with 12 seconds. Then the game's kind of
focus. Can you walk us through and kind of set the stage of what that's like and kind of what you're trying to do to, I guess, keep yourself calm? You mentioned almost having a heart attack. That's a pretty emotional situation.
Yeah, it was just, I just knew I had to step up and make. I keep saying it over and over, but I've been in these situations before, so just really, again, using that to my advantage. And I was already mad about the one I had missed prior, so I was like, okay, I got to redeem myself. But yeah, I mean, it was just, it's a focus thing, it's a mental thing. I heard the whole crowd like, shh, like everyone's go silent, but yeah, it's just me in the hoop at that point, and I'm just trying to steal the game.
Would you prefer there was more noise, like a road environment as opposed to a home environment with the game on the line? What's the difference there?
I don't think it really matters. I just thought it was funny that the whole crowd was shushing, but for me, it's just, again, I internally, it's just a focus, and again, a mental focus that it's just me in the basket at that moment.
You could see that she would make him in her eyes. I knew she would
I
make
was like,
him.
yeah,
You could see
at
it.
this point.
For both you guys, obviously, there's still plenty of season left, but for both of you as transfers to Eugene to come to this season, to now obviously clinch a spot in Indy in the Big Ten tournament, just what has this season meant for you guys, and to already know that you have a spot secured in the Big Ten championship, or the Big Ten tournament?
You could say championship.
What has the season meant for you guys, just to this point? So?
Okay.
We've been talking about that a lot, and I think every game matters so much, especially because you play each opponent once, and Washington we play twice, right? But like the other ones. So the games are so close. Like we talked about, each possession matters, and just having that spot secured is just so big, especially going into the season with injuries and like all these games traveling so far. So it matters, definitely.
Yeah, Coach keeps telling us it's home stretch, so this is where we really got to double down, and we're really starting to peak a little bit. We have to. So yeah, we're gonna keep moving forward and again take it one game at a time because we got a lot more games to play.
Deja, as one of the most experienced players on this team, what are you doing as a leader to try to help the younger players, the less experienced players, as they head into their first time playing March basketball?
Yeah, I'm just trying to talk and uplift as much as I can. I sometimes I forget that we have so many young players and new players that kind of haven't been there before. So as we get closer to that, and even in these games now, you know how much these games matter in order for seeding and different things like that. Just trying to instill that confidence too, and just instill. We have to come out with intensity and energy every game. We can't have these lapses like we have had the past couple games, because against really good teams, it's hard to come back from that. So that's just kind of what I'm trying to, share with my teammates, that confidence, just making sure that everyone just goes into it confident and brings their piece, because everyone 1 through 15 matters. So as long as everyone is locked in on that, and I'm just trying to help everyone stay locked in. Looking forward.
Do you feel that intensity in these games now that we're getting closer to March? And Deja, you can chime in too. Do you feel that intensity from the other side of your opponent starting to pick up?
I think at the end, it all comes down to us playing against ourselves with the defense and us all being together and communicating. The game is the same every day. Of course, it gets really tense in those close, point games, but at the end, it's us against us. We have to make the practices harder than the games. That's what we're trying to do. So trying to set that standard for ourselves so that the games aren't as tense anymore.
As a coach with defensive identity, overall identity, the defense is such a critical element of your identity. He pointed out that he's made some lineup changes, so yeah, he's still working with some things in terms of team identity. But it just seems like game in, game out, you guys we know who you guys are going to be, and the kind of the style of game we're in for. What you guys are going to try to get done. Both of you have played a lot of basketball in a lot of different formats. Just is it rare or not to just have such a sense of kind of who you are at this point in the season? And I guess what kind of confidence do you draw from that if it is so?
Yeah, I think a lot. I think us being able to draw back to our defensive identity definitely carries us, and it instills a different type of mindset going into games. Again, I think that was something that was really the primary focus and what we felt we had to get back to, especially we had a drop off in that area the past couple games. And that's who we are. So I think us just remembering that was the talk we were having in huddles today. Like, y'all, we can defend our butts off. Like, we've been here before. So we know, like, what to do. We know how to guard. We know how to get stops. And it was just about us getting down and doing it. So I think that's the biggest thing. Being able to have that as our identity, just sets the tone overall. And then, again, it can push for our offense. We can push in transition, and it just helps us with our flow. But, yeah, just us getting down and getting stops, that's our biggest thing.